Hi, I'm Pete Austin. I'm the founder of Apprentice-Ed, or should I say, hola, amigos. Today, I want to talk about bringing the American dream to the world, specifically to Mexico. I want to talk about creating an area, we call it the Lo Siento territory, down in the northern part of Mexico, in order to accomplish a number of wonderful things. And we do it by way of a 100-year lease, similar to what Britain did with China when they leased the Hong Kong territory. That Hong Kong territory they leased for 100 years. It became the most beautiful thing ever for China. Okay, here it goes. Lo siento contrato de arrendamiento de 100 años. Hacer de México un centro, un destino para el mundo. We want to make Mexico a center of the world. We want to make Mexico a center of the world. Who is we? We is 25 million Mexicans and 25 million Americans. We want to sign a lease between all 50 million of us. Governments need not be involved. I'm getting tired of how governments go this way, that way, the other thing. But if we have 50 million of us sign a lease to an area of Mexico in the north, sparsely populated, from coast to coast, going from the border down for 50 miles, we can create an incredible place of learning and place of you getting your own business. Your empresas pequeñas. We can get you a very good business. You'll do business in Mexico, you'll do business in South America, you'll do business in America. It's meant for one person or two persons or three persons to be the owners of this business. It is not a giant business that comes up and gobbles up the profit and takes off. Oh, no, 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 no. We want 25 million Mexicans to be in the Lo Siento territorio, and we want you to have a very good income, perhaps $150,000 US dollars as your net income. Okay? We're looking to make you very well off. That's our goal. If we do that, and if you can switch out with other people in Mexico City, and we'll switch out people with the U.S., you will have a lot of very wealthy small business people in Mexico. That's what we want. We don't want China. By the way, China's failing. If you go to our website, biz-4-me, you'll see that China's failing. It's not going to be around that much longer. We want to create great wealth in Mexico. Let me read you a few of the things here. I think it's important. We want to make Mexico a center, el centro, del mundo. We want to make Mexico wealthy again. We want to double the GDP from the current 1.7 trillion to 3.5 trillion. Yes, really. And in doing so, we will add 1.7 trillion of GDP to the U.S. It's a win-win thing. We want to make the Mexican peso stable. Since 2020, it dropped by half. We want to use U.S. dollars in this Lo Siento 75,000 square mile area. We want to use U.S. dollars so it will stabilize the peso throughout Mexico. Now, China's going down the tubes. The dollar's going to be the thing to be in, and you're going to be in it, Mexico. Okay. Contrato de arrendamiento de 100 años. Lo siento. Lo siento means I'm sorry. And I am not saying that the Mexican people are sorry. Absolutely not. I'm not saying the American people are sorry. I'm not saying South America. I'm saying it happened. You have a fight with your wife. What do? You make up. You say those important words. I'm sorry. Lo siento. Let's move on. Here goes the wording. This big, important lease. Nosotros, el pueblo mexicano, y nosotros, el pueblo americano, acordamos formar un contrato de arrendamiento por 100 años, consolidando las buenas relaciones entre el pueblo de México y el pueblo de los Estados Unidos de América y creando estabilidad y seguridad para ambos países on el área de 75,000 millas cuadradas de México, que llamamos el territorio de arrendamiento. Lo siento. México mantendrá el control soberano total. México mantendrá el control soberano total. Operamos según las leyes y seguridad del territorio. Lo siento, on dólares americanos. What that is in English is we, the Mexican people, and we want 25 million Mexican people, and we, the American people, and we want 25 million American people, agree to form a 100-year lease, cementing the good relations between the people of Mexico and the people of the United States of America, and creating stability and safety for both countries in the 75,000 square mile area of Mexico we call the Lo Siento lease territory. Mexico will retain full sovereign control. Mexico will retain full sovereign control. That's the primary goal for La Presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum. I wrote her a letter. She's studying it. We operate by Lo Siento territory laws and security in U.S. dollars. But let me give you a little picture. If we have 50 million people down there, half Mexican, half American, studying, developing their own business, etc., we will have at least 1 million people down there for security. These will be armed security. People in the Lo Siento territory will be free to have concealed carry, subject to qualifying for it. There's going to be a lot of guns down there, not to use in a bad way. The cartels have 175,000 people. I want you to compare 175,000 with 1 million, maybe 20 million people with guns. I think it's going to turn very quickly into what it is in Texas, in Florida, where the cartels kind of toned down. In fact, I've got a good saying for that. Let's see if I can find it. And I'm not apologizing for my Spanish, because I'm really trying. Let's see. Where is it? Todo el mundo tiene que ponerse zapatos nuevos y un sombrero nuevo, ahora que la duplicación del PIB de México se acerca. Everybody has to put on new shoes and a new hat with the doubling of Mexican GDP coming around the corner. And that includes the cartels. Do you want to get rich there, Mr. Cartel? You put on new shoes and a hat. You change your style. You do what they did in Los Angeles way back in the 1970s. The various gangs got together and said, we can't go on killing each other. Mexico has a murder rate between cartel and cartel of 10%. You just got to stop. There's a whole bunch of states down there where you've got some, you know what they are. They have big killings going on. That's just got to cease and desist. And it's bad for business. That's why you cease and desist. Now, China's not going to be a big concern much longer. If you go to our website, you'll see that. But I want to spend a little bit more. 25, I'm talking French, 25 de mexicanos y 25 millones de estudiantes firman el contrato de arrendamiento. No hay gobiernos, no government. On 100 años, 21-25, México se hace cargo de un PIB de 200 cuadrando 1 trillones de dólares. 25 million Mexicans and 25 million Americans sign the lease. No governments. In 100 years, in 21-25, Mexico takes over a 241 trillion GDP. Just like China took over Hong Kong It was the biggest benefit of all. So you're going to get this. Now, for all you doubting there, doubting Tomases, the doubting ones, here we go. Go ahead, tell us this impossible. Tell us it can't be done. Then get the heck out of the way and watch us do it. Eat our dust. And you can start saying, I knew this would work the first time I heard about it. Let me give you some of the benefits of this lease. Sovereignty preserved. Mexican rules, not China, not South American cartels, not Russia, not America. Increase the Mexico GDP from current 1.7 trillion to 3.4 trillion USD. All Mexico and US small businesses. No big biz, no China biz. Produce 50 million new small biz owned by Mexicans all through Mexico. And produce 25 million new small biz owned by Americans in the USA. Raise the income in northern Mexico states. Rico, rico, rico. This is going to go a long way towards poverty. It's going to go a long way for Mexicans being able to rent places that are a lot more money than they could afford now. That's the goal, especially in Tijuana, where there's almost 2.5 million people moved there recently, skilled and semi-skilled Mexicans. We want them to stay where they are. That's perfect for us. In the Los Cientos territory, they're right where we need to be to help them. We're going to establish 50 new small banks, not owned by brokerage houses, that operate internationally. Mexico will become a haven for people who are reparenting their small businesses. Apple went out to Ireland and took all their profits and ship it to Ireland now and don't pay any tax on profit. Well, if we have to, we're going to do that with Mexico. Those small banks I was talking about, they'll probably take in $20 trillion of reparenting money. We create a much higher affinity between Mexicans and Americans through small business creation. We are bridging the border. We're making us one. We're making us the center of the world, and we want Mexico. We want the U.S. We want Mexico en el equipo. We'll stabilize the Mexican pesos. The cartels will be much more civil because there's a lot of new wealth, just as the Tongs did. The Tongs are the equivalent of the cartels in China. And the Hong Kong lease, the Tongs tamed right down. Mexico and Canada are in a relationship with the U.S. where if one gains, the other loses. U.S. business. Well, Mexico's going to go way up, so Canada will go way down. There isn't a lot we can do. What are the other options for Mexico? I analyzed about 10 of them, and they just don't look good, especially not with China. China's going, this BRICS organization, that'll be toast before very long. Very soon, Brazil is going to be, what's his name, Jair Bolsonaro is going to be back in. So this is the best date. In fact, we're predicting, Apprentice-Ed is predicting there's a 45% chance we'll fail by September 2020-30. I want to just read a couple more things, but I think you get the point. Apprentice-Ed is bringing the American dream to one country at a time. It's bringing it to the world, one country at a time. We'd like to start with Mexico. We're making a start with Argentina now. We want to make Mexico a center of the world. We want to make Mexico wealthy again, the GDP doubling to 3.5 trillion and stabilizing the Mexico peso. We want an agreement between the people of Mexico and the people of the USA. Not necessarily the governments. We want the people. We want a lease of 75,000 square miles. Going to have to get a lot of people involved to make that lease work. And we're going to have to trust each other. This won't be a cartel haven. This will be a place that's patrolled by our security. And a lot of the people going to our schools and will be security. They'll be heavily trained special forces people. A lot of that. Okay, we're creating an opportunity, a center of the world here between the U.S. and Mexico. We think we can create a whole new place for people all around the world to trust and be part of. What do you think? We call it the Los Cientos 100-year lease. Come and join us. Thank you.